Hello everyone, I hope you're all well and enjoying the conference. My name is Evan Freeman. I am the Director of Education for the Bitcoin Association. And we have some very lovely panelists here for you today to talk about blockchain education initiatives in China and also in Nigeria and Uganda. So I'd like to start with you first, Lise. Would you please introduce yourself and talk a little bit about what you've been accomplishing in China?
Okay. Hello, everyone, to the physical and online audience. I'm Lise Li, the founder and chief operating officer of Shanghai Keyi Technology. I'm also in charge of the APEC Hub for Bitcoin Association for a few years. So it's very nice to come to London again. Also, this is my second time to London, and the first time was 3 years ago, also for the BSV conference in London. And it's very honored to be here and together with this gentleman talking about our great cause, just educating the global people about Bitcoin technology. In China, we have my role representing Bitcoin Association is to advance BSV technology awareness and also adoption. However, I think all of us face the same situation that most people, they don't understand blockchain, or they think they understand, but just in a wrong way. So education is always the most important part of my work. So during the past 4 years, we kind of doing all the ways to support the developers, all those Bitcoin early learners, Bitcoin early developers, such as we are collaborating with BSV Academy and launched our Chinese language academy course in China, and also we collaborating the local partners and doing some certificates and engineer qualification programs with them. And for me myself, I'm often going into the local universities and give lectures to the students, even postgraduate students. And the interesting thing is that I noticed that nowadays the young people who are curious about this new technology are from various backgrounds. And most of the time, I noticed that those students from School of Law, Economics, they are the students that are be more curious about this technology. However, to make BSV be more adopted by more people, we want to have more young people who can programming and coding to join our educational program. That's all. Thank you.
That's very good, very good. Thank you. And yes, you've been doing some wonderful things. All the academy courses have been translated into Chinese, and because of some of the complexities of having our educational materials being delivered in China, Lise has been very instrumental in being able to facilitate that. So great work. Thank you, Lise.
Thank you. And great work on the BSV Academy. That's our fundamental of all of this.
Thank you. Thank you. So just to talk specifically about our blockchain innovation program, it is a comprehensive education program designed to take entrepreneurs, business executives, government officials through all the facets of Bitcoin and blockchain. And with a module very specifically designed for developers wishing to build solutions to their society's most pressing issues. And I'd like to start with you, Reginald. If you wouldn't mind just please introducing yourself and maybe discussing a few things about our initial trial run of the Blockchain Innovation Program in Uganda with you hosting it that achieved good results, and maybe even speak a little bit about what you were looking to do again in the future in this regards.
Okay, thank you, Evan. So I'm the CEO of CapitalSavvy. Primarily our focus is to solve a problem within one of the bottlenecks in sub-Saharan Africa, which is financial inclusion. And one of the things we've focused on as a firm is to deal with the $20 billion funding gap for small, medium enterprises. And so we run, I would like to call it a digital bank, where we support small, medium enterprises with access to credit on our online platform.
Very good.
And incidentally, we are working with one of the firms that has a booth. That's 4Chain. They are helping us develop an automated credit scoring model. So our interest in technology is seen in the way we work as well. We're a tech-centric firm. And so when an opportunity came up to partner with the BA to run the blockchain innovation program, not just in Uganda, but across East Africa, we did it very diligently. And the first cohort had 25 young entrepreneurs. And pretty much our philosophy is learn. Education is a very important element, just like Lee said, for markets like Africa, where levels of education are really low. And we didn't want to focus on very complicated things. I think the view was, let's get these young people together, let them learn what the basics of blockchain are. And so the curriculum by the BA has been very, very instrumental to us. It's very basic, very easy to understand. And throughout the 12 weeks of the program, they were able to get skills that are relevant. And so the idea was for them to use those skills to build solutions for African challenges. And so 12 weeks, learn. Thereafter, the idea is to collaborate. So the first cohort, what we've done as CapitalSavvy is to create a co-working space where occasionally the first cohort meets, and even after the first program ended, sort of collaborate together, develop solutions, and eventually the goal is to create like an innovation hub for blockchain technologies, and working closely with your team to sort of keep the conversation going, keep them together, and eventually raise a fund to support different initiatives and ideas that come out of it.
Yeah. That's very exciting and very good work, and we're very appreciative for all the hard efforts that you and your team have put into making that Uganda a success story, and we look forward to doing a lot more with you guys. So I'm just going to switch to Lorien here. Lorien, please, everybody probably knows Lorien, but once you get a chance, if you want to just do a quick intro, it'd be wonderful. But Centbee has been a very important strategic partner for our education initiatives in Africa. Perhaps you could talk a bit about how Centbee enables Africans to easily be onboarded to the BSV network, and how the blockchain innovation program can help facilitate that, along with anything else that you feel is important.
Sure, thanks, Evan. So I'm the co-founder of a consumer-facing digital cash wallet based on the BSV blockchain. Our target market is typically a youth market, teenagers, students, those young people who want to make digital payments but don't necessarily have access to credit cards and that sort of thing. BSV is a wonderful tool for that because it's low-cost digital cash and global as well. We've got a strong emerging in markets user base right now, but we are global. We've opened up now into Europe and there'll be other countries coming soon. But one of the important things that we have to deal with is an education thing. Of course, when it comes to young people, it is easy for them to pick up new technologies and new innovations and run with it. For them, that's sort of normal. But when it comes to digital cash, of course, on BSV, we need to not just market the product and explain the features. We want to be able to also get our users to understand how this technology works. How do fees work and what happens when you make payments and all that. And so we've been trying very hard to, as well as market the product and reach those students, is also to try and educate them. And that's when we met and met Nick and Evan, and we spoke about a platform that could perhaps facilitate that, which I'm sure we're going to talk about now. And we think that, at least for now, especially since the whole crypto space is so noisy and so messy and so distracting, people have forgotten that the original version of Bitcoin, which is BSV, was meant for cash. Right now, everybody thinks crypto is crypto, where it's trading and it's speculation and it's NFTs and all these things. So you can see how what we have to try and do is dispel all that false information that's now crept into the space. That's that's all over social media, but as well as mainstream media today. If you just turn on CNBC or something and they're shilling, coins and all that. So it's a big job. We have to now try and explain to young people it's not about investing, it's not about making money, it's about enabling your lifestyle, or as we say, activating your lifestyle. And the platforms that we engage with certainly achieved that goal, and we're excited to continue using that.
Very good. Thank you. Nicholas,
Sir.
This is your first of our conferences that you've gotten to attend. Maybe you could just, give your little brief introduction and discuss how FifthWork was created to solve real problems in education, and how does FifthWork do that, and what has FifthWork's role been in our blockchain innovation program?
Okay, so I am the CEO of FifthWork. We are an online e-learning platform. We reward our students directly based on their performance in a course. So a student, like the Ugandan students, can come to us and learn a curriculum such as the Bitcoin Association's blockchain development course that they have. So we hosted that for them, and then the students, at the end of each section, they would take an assessment. How well did they learn the material? And depending on if they aced the test and score 100%, they would get a full reward associated with that. And if you scored a lower score, you would receive a lower reward. And ultimately, what we found was the reason that our platform was so successful for these developers is because we're not only educating them on how to use blockchain and what blockchain is, but we're also enabling them to interact with the community. So like most, I shouldn't say most, but a lot of developing countries, they don't have the infrastructure to just go and purchase these, blockchain or these coins or whatever we want to call it. They have, but through our platform, they have an opportunity to earn it, and they can still get it without the complexity of requiring an established infrastructure already, an established banking trust network that a lot of these places just simply don't have. So now, as the students are developing their ideas, they can send transactions, they can test their ideas, they can interact with the ecosystem, they can send money to each other and see how it works, interface with it, they can have their wallets, they can test different wallets. And it's without the FifthWork platform, they wouldn't have that access. They would have to go out and search, how do I buy this? Where can I buy this? Do they even have the ability to purchase these coins? We're removing that exchange mindset where they have to go somewhere and exchange a fiat for something. No, they earned that BSV. They learned that material. They proved that they knew it. And they're building platforms and successful, they're solving problems that only they know about. So me, I'm not African, I'm not Nigerian, I'm not Ugandan, I don't know what these people need. But by showing them these technologies that exist, I'm enabling them to solve the problems that they come across every day. So it's, for me, we had some students come to this conference, and I met with them, and one of them was trying to explain to me this idea that, to me, I just didn't understand. And I felt bad because I kept asking him to repeat himself. I'm like, I don't get it, I just don't get it. But then I was like, you know what, let me see something. And I went to another Nigerian student that was here. And I said, do you know what this is? He's like, oh yeah, I know exactly what that is. And then he intuitively knew what the other guy was talking about. And I still had no idea, I still don't know. So you see that it's not my job to solve their problems, but I love that I am part of becoming the solution to the problems that they face every day. And enabling them to solve the problems by themselves and interact with a global community instantly. I love what I do. It's a very good place to be.
Well, very well said, and I think you raised a very interesting point to all of this. Is, there's so many facets to our blockchain innovation program. It's not just teaching blockchain, Bitcoin, it's also giving them access to the greater ecosystem. Centbee, for instance, they're a business, and then by being able to be open to having these Nigerian students, for example, coming in and using Centbee as a product, as a service, there's a tangible benefit for them. But then again, they can go and learn on Fifth Work about additional services and products in the ecosystem, such as Haste Arcade or wherever, and they can use what they've earned to then go and earn more. And that's a very critical aspect to this program, because I feel it really makes this much more than just teaching. It's about, you know, creating a greater ecosystem. Maybe you would like to speak a little bit about that, Lorien, in your experience with Centbee. Has that been the case that you have received a benefit from being involved in this partnership?
Yes, and I'm sure Dr. Usman will be able to also share more about the student initiative that happened there, but that was an initiative that was a tremendous success. It was university students who are now incentivized through Fifth Work to learn content, blockchain content, and it was an event held. What I'll do is I'll leave that to Dr. Usman, but we certainly participated in that, and it was a great an experience for a lot of young people to be motivated to learn about a product because they're being incentivized with BSV and rewarded for that work. So it does really, turn that, Dr. Usman, we were talking about that earlier, that, it turns that model around where instead of you pay to learn because you have that incentive, there are also people around you that are incentivized or motivated for you to learn something, and they will be willing to reward you for that. And so a wonderful tool is a BSV type tool where you can very quickly, cheaply pay small rewards for fulfilling and completing small tasks. And so the person who's pushing that education gets a benefit because now the people learning that are motivated to actually learn. And so
that's perfect. Now we can introduce Dr. Usman. Dr. Usman, would you please just give yourself an introduction here and the role that you play in Nigeria's future when it comes to blockchain and education?
Thank you very much. My name once again is Dr. Usman Abdullahi. I am the Director of IT Infrastructure Solutions at the National Information Technology Development Agency, NIDDA. NIDDA is a government agency that was established in 2001, really to coordinate particularly to coordinate the implementation of the National Information Technology Policy of Nigeria. So the role of the agency can be summarized in three: developmental initiatives, and as part of the developmental initiatives, of course, as we know and as all have said, infrastructure, challenge of infrastructure. And of course, the role of government is to provide an enabling environment. So NIDDA, on behalf of government, provides infrastructure across the country. For instance, we deploy over 80 centers. I mean, Lorien was talking about, the activities of a university. So we deploy centers at university, centers that are fully kind of equipped with infrastructure to facilitate innovation and entrepreneurship. So NIDDA does that. In addition, NIDDA provides scholarships. It sponsors students not just for these professional programs, but also for postgraduate programs across the world. Because the most important thing is education. Education. If you want, particularly in Africa, the challenge that we have is lack of unemployment. But if you empower an individual, you are empowering a society. So that's why we pay more attention to that. So it's part of our developmental initiative. The second aspect of NIDDA's role is regulation. Of course, information technology, yes, I know the challenge is that some of these technologies might not, we can say, no, they cannot be regulated. However, government should be able to provide enabling environment. So NIDDA, on behalf of the government of Nigeria, coordinates the development of regulatory instruments. For instance, just 3 weeks ago, actually, the country launched the national blockchain policy for Nigeria. And that provides a framework. Of course, before that, there were some regulatory instruments that facilitate the development of the blockchain, the adoption of blockchain in Nigeria. So regulation is key because you have to provide the enabling environment. And then the approach for us in Nigeria or in NIDA in particular is co-creation of regulation. So we engage all stakeholders. We create regulations in consultation with all stakeholders. So that is the second aspect. The third aspect is advisory. So we provide advisory services to both public and private sector on the utilization of technology. Now, coming back to this education program, of course, I said the agency was established 2001. So in 2019, as part of the regulatory role, the national policy, National Digital Economy Policy and Strategy was launched and unveiled by the president. Lorien was in last year's event. We have an international event called Digital Nigeria. So it was launched and unveiled. And we identified particularly emerging technology as one key area that we need to tap into, make the best use of. And we also identified that, of course, digital literacy and skills is critical. So one of the pillars of that strategic document is digital literacy and skills. And in Nigeria, we identified that, okay, by 2030, we should have 95% digitally literate citizens in Nigeria.
Wow.
I mean, for those of us that know Nigeria, Nigeria is the most populous country in Africa. We have over 200 population. We are 50% of the whole of West Africa. What is important is that over 60% of that population is youth, between the ages of 19 and 35. And they are tech savvy. And for your information, of course, as well, is that, out of the 7 unicorns in Africa, 5 are from Nigeria. And so we have highly talented youth, and we felt that emerging technology, blockchain in particular, is an area that we have to develop and build. And we are fortunate to partner with BSV Education to provide opportunities for Nigeria and Nigerians to develop their skills. Because the idea is that, of course, we should be able, in digital transformation, there is need for, just as Lorien was saying, that, it was the need for indigenization of solutions. Because we know, or Nigerians or Africans know their problems more than any other. So they need to customize the technology to domesticate it in a way that it will solve those problems. For them to be able to do that, they need to have that, education. So we felt, as part of this, ensuring that we provide digitally literate 95% of our citizens, we felt blockchain is one area that we should focus on. And we have an aspirational target that we want to train 500,000 Nigerians on blockchain technology by the end of 2024. And then we want to add 1 million software developers by the end of 2023, because we want Nigeria to be the emerging technology talent hub in Africa that provides developers, skills, not only in Africa, but across the world. So that's the kind of aspiration that we have. And partnership is key for us. And so that's why we are partnering with BSV Academy, to deliver these programs. And I'm sure Evan will talk more about that, but it's a success story. Because we have students so far that have excelled. I mean, some of them are here. So not that government sponsored them to be here, but they are here on their own. And so that shows how the success is, because they have opportunity. It just creates that opportunity for them, to be able to showcase and to learn what they have been able to achieve. So really, NIDA is there, to facilitate this program, to sponsor, to provide the, the opportunity for the students, and then for them to learn and, showcase their skills. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Usman. It is truly an honor to work with you and each one of our partners.
Thank you.
But it's amazing what NITA has done and is looking to do. It's absolutely inspiring. I think unbelievably so that it won't be long before Nigeria truly is a leader, not just in Africa, but the whole world when it comes to blockchain.
Thank you very much.
So thank you
for that.
And unfortunately, one of our other partners wasn't able to join us today, but Dominion Blockchain Solutions, which is a Nigerian business, has also done just incredible work to ensure that Nigeria is a leader of the 21st century. So it's quite,
Thank you.
yeah.
Thank you.
So I just wanted to, mention that with this first cohort that we've done with NITA, which was sponsored by the Nigerian government so graciously, we've actually had 12,248 graduates of this program. Some of them who, as Dr. Usman mentioned, came here on their own without us knowing, just showed up in the lobby and said hi. And so we are actually going to be having a little special moment here with our partners, BuzzMint, as we are going to be minting these certificates on screen. If the video folks would be so kind to bring that up. So in a blink of an eye, we'll see. Here we got the Bitcoin Association ledger. So it's quite simple for BuzzMint to do this, which is, really why we went with them. We're able to have our certificates on the BA ledger, fully verifiable, all over the world. We're also going to have the certificates also verifiable on a ledger in Nigeria. So these students will be able to have their certificate verified both in Nigeria,
Across the world.
with NITA,
Yeah.
as well as with the BA through the BA ledger here. And so we have the certificate. And a little bit a long blink of an eye. Let's say that. Okay, here we go. And there we go. And so all the students can come and collect their certificate.
Wow.
And we look forward to doing this for all the additional cohorts that we will be working with in Nigeria, with NITA, with all our great partners. We're thankful to all of you for coming and watching, and hopefully this helps inspire you. And if you have any ideas or educational initiatives, please reach out to me, Evan, at bitcoinassociation.net. I'd be happy to hear them. If there's anything you gentlemen want to add, or ladies?
Time for a question?
Yes, please.
I'm thinking this time.
It's an audience question? I don't know if that's possible. I don't think we're set up for that. But and I definitely want to thank all of the students from Nigeria, from our blockchain innovation program, who did show up here today. It's wonderful to see you all, and it really helps inspire us to keep doing this, because we know that there is so much that can be done in Africa, all around the world, with the solutions that are built on BSV to solve societal problems there. So, a lot of these solutions, they can be, from Nigeria, but they can be implemented all across Africa. They can be implemented in emerging markets and developing nations in South America, Southeast Asia, South Asia, everywhere. So,
Also, just want to just emphasize again, I'm not sure if the audience is aware of the project that happened. So, that this is a government initiative to implement blockchain, a nationwide strategy, and it's a BSV blockchain initiative.
Yeah, it's powerful.
And so that's pretty amazing that a country now is, it's not like El Salvador, Bitcoin's legal tender, but this is now a nationwide national strategy to implement blockchain into all the public services using BSV blockchain. And so that's tremendous.
And, I know that our time is up, but what is important is that, government are fully involved in it. And government has given directives already that all government agencies have to adopt the technology. With the policy that was unveiled 3 weeks ago, it comes with a directive that's, our CBN, we implemented the e-Naira, the Securities and Exchange Commission, the National Identity. All these agencies have to adopt the technology. And those areas, innovation, talent development, and adoption are key towards the implementation of the policy. So really, it's a government initiative. Government is fully involved in this. And so that's what makes it successful. Actually, we said 500,000, but that number, it seems like we are going to continue to do more. Certainly. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Usman. Thank you, Nita. Thank you, the Nigerian government. Thank you all.
Thank you.